Block 1. Banksy New Works Unveiled. The world holds its breath, not for a scheduled exhibition, but for the silent, often sudden appearance of new art. And when that art belongs to Banksy, the tremors are felt globally. In recent months, the elusive maestro has once again graced our urban landscapes with a series of unannounced works, each a potent reminder of his unparalleled ability to blend profound social commentary with breathtaking visual impact. These aren't just stencils on a wall, they are carefully calculated interventions designed to spark dialogue, provoke thought, and challenge the very fabric of our societal norms. Consider, for instance, the piece that popped up in a bustling European capital, depicting a child reaching for a faded, seemingly discarded toy. On the surface, it's a poignant image of childhood innocence. But upon closer inspection, the toy itself was a commentary on consumerism, perhaps even the environmental impact of fast fashion or planned obsolescence. The immediate public reaction was, as always, a mixture of awe, confusion, and fervent debate. Locals flocked to see it, tourists rerouted their itineraries, and art critics scrambled to dissect its layers of meaning. This wasn't just art, it was an event, transforming a mundane brick wall into a temporary pilgrimage site, a focal point for global attention and local discussion. Then there was the piece in a coastal town near a struggling fishing community, which brilliantly intertwined local hardship with global issues. A figure, perhaps a fisherman, was shown wrestling with a plastic bag, not a fish. This stark imagery immediately resonated with environmental activists and local residents alike, highlighting the devastating impact of plastic pollution on marine ecosystems and the livelihoods dependent on them. The power of Banksy lies precisely in this ability to localize a universal problem, making it tangible and impossible to ignore. The town council, initially unsure how to react, found itself grappling with a sudden influx of attention, both positive and negative, forcing a conversation about their own environmental policies and the broader implications of global waste. These recent works are not isolated incidents. They are threads in a larger tapestry, an ongoing narrative that Banksy has been weaving for decades. What sets these particular pieces apart is their subtle evolution in technique and message. While still retaining his signature stencil style, there's a noticeable shift towards a more nuanced, perhaps even somber tone. The sharp, often humorous satire is still present, but it's now frequently underpinned by a deeper sense of urgency, a quiet desperation reflecting the escalating global crises we face. This evolution suggests an artist continually refining his voice, adapting his methods to cut through the ever-increasing noise of the digital age, ensuring his commentary remains as relevant and piercing as ever. The choice of locations is also never accidental. Each wall, each street corner, each underpass becomes a deliberate canvas selected for its contextual significance. A piece addressing homelessness might appear near a luxury apartment complex. A critique of surveillance might materialize opposite a government building. These strategic placements amplify the message, creating an immediate, unavoidable confrontation for passers-by. The sheer audacity of his choices ensures that his art is not merely observed, but experienced, forcing an interaction that transcends the passive consumption of traditional gallery art and demands active engagement. The impact on conventional art spaces is profound. Banksy's interventions consistently challenge the gatekeepers of the art world, questioning definitions of value, authenticity, and accessibility. While his works command millions at auction, their initial appearance is always free, democratic, and fundamentally public. This paradox forces a reevaluation. Is art truly for the elite, or should it be a shared experience, a catalyst for public discourse? His latest works continue to hammer this point home, demonstrating that the most powerful art often exists outside the gilded frames of institutional walls, thriving instead on the raw, unfiltered stage of the urban environment, reaching audiences who might never step foot in a gallery. Public perception, too, is constantly in flux. From initial outrage and accusations of vandalism to eventual celebration and preservation efforts, the journey of a Banksy piece is a microcosm of societal shifts. Where once a new stencil might have been swiftly painted over, now communities often rally to protect them, recognizing their cultural and economic value. This shift is not just about the art itself, but about the growing public appreciation for art that dares to be political, that refuses to be silent, and that speaks directly to the anxieties and hopes of ordinary people. The viral spread of images and discussions online further amplifies this, turning each new piece into a global phenomenon within hours, irrespective of its physical location, cementing its place in contemporary cultural conversation. These recent works, therefore, are more than just art tops. They are strategic maneuvers in Banksy's ongoing campaign to disrupt, to enlighten, and to provoke. They set a powerful precedent, a high bar for public art, and they continue to solidify his status as one of the most important and certainly the most enigmatic artists of our time. But as we marvel at these latest additions to his extraordinary oeuvre, whispers have begun to circulate, hinting at something far grander, a project that could redefine not just his legacy, but the very landscape of contemporary art and activism. A project so ambitious, so shrouded in mystery, that it has already begun to capture the imagination of the world: the 2025 Lighthouse. The stage, it seems, is being set for something truly monumental. Block 2. The 2025 Lighthouse Mystery. The echoes of Banksy's latest interventions are still reverberating, yet a new, even more profound enigma has begun to cast its long shadow across the art world and beyond. The whispered, yet increasingly insistent, talk of a 2025 Lighthouse project. This isn't just another stencil appearing overnight. This is an undertaking rumored to be of unprecedented scale and ambition, a potential magnum opus that has the entire globe speculating. But where did this cryptic reference even come from? And what on earth could a lighthouse possibly signify in the context of an artist known for his subversive, often fleeting, street art? The origins of the 2025 Lighthouse are as elusive as Banksy himself. Some trace the first murmurs back to a subtle, almost imperceptible detail in a recent, widely disseminated photograph of one of his works, a tiny symbol or a sequence of numbers that, when pieced together, pointed towards a future date and a specific architectural form. Others suggest it emerged from cryptic online posts attributed to sources close to the artist's inner circle, always anonymous, always untraceable, yet carrying just enough weight to fuel the fires of speculation. There have even been whispers of veiled references in obscure interviews given by figures tangentially connected to the Bristol art scene, each hint adding another layer to the deepening mystery. The art world thrives on such whispers, transforming fragments of information into a complex mosaic of anticipation, creating a narrative that is part rumor, part prophecy. The most compelling aspect of this burgeoning legend is the sheer breadth of theories attempting to decode what a lighthouse could represent. For an artist who has consistently illuminated society's darker corners, the symbolism is rich and multifaceted. One prominent theory posits a monumental physical installation, something on the scale of his Disneyland amusement park, but perhaps even more ambitious. Imagine a towering structure built in an unexpected location, not necessarily on a coastline, but perhaps in the heart of a major city or even a contested border zone. Such an installation would serve as a literal beacon, drawing attention to a specific global issue, much like his walled-off hotel in Bethlehem draws attention to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Its very presence would be a statement, a permanent intervention designed to provoke continuous dialogue and act as a constant, unavoidable reminder of a critical issue. Another compelling theory suggests a conceptual online project, a digital lighthouse that guides public opinion or sheds light on digital surveillance, misinformation, or the dark web. Banksy has always been adept at leveraging modern communication channels, and a sophisticated online platform, perhaps an interactive art experience or a global digital protest, would be a logical evolution. This could involve a virtual space that challenges internet censorship or an anonymous platform for whistleblowers, aligning perfectly with his history of empowering the marginalized and exposing injustice. The global reach of such a project would be instantaneous and boundless, transcending physical borders and reaching audiences in ways traditional art never could. Then there's the interpretation of the lighthouse as a global call to action. Banksy's art has always been activist at its core, inspiring individuals to question, to resist, and to change. The 2025 Lighthouse could be a coordinated, worldwide art intervention, a series of simultaneous works appearing in various locations, all linked by a central theme or message. Imagine dozens of smaller lighthouses, perhaps symbolic stencils or projections, emerging concurrently in cities across continents, each casting its own beam of light on local issues that reflect a universal human struggle. This would transform his individual artistic acts into a global, collective movement, a truly revolutionary approach to street art and activism, demonstrating the immense power of unified artistic expression. Connecting these theories to Banksy's history reveals a consistent pattern of large-scale, impactful interventions. From his barely legal exhibition in Los Angeles, which featured a live elephant, to the Better Out Than In residency in New York, where he unveiled a new piece every day for a month, he has consistently pushed the boundaries of what art can be and where it can be found. The Dismaland project, a subversive take on theme parks, proved his capability for orchestrating complex, multi-layered experiences that combined art, satire, and social critique on an unprecedented scale. The Lighthouse project, therefore, feels like a natural, albeit exponential progression of his artistic journey, a culmination of his past efforts, yet simultaneously a radical departure into uncharted territory, promising something truly groundbreaking. Whether it manifests as a physical monument, a digital revolution, or a global uprising of artistic consciousness, the 2025 Lighthouse is poised to be more than just art. It is a promise, a challenge, and a potential turning point. It's a testament to Banksy's enduring power to captivate, to mystify, and to compel us to look closer, to think harder, and to question everything. The anticipation is palpable, a collective holding of breath as the world waits to see what beacon of truth, warning, or hope the anonymous artist will illuminate next. And as 2025 draws nearer, the implications for his legacy, the art market, and contemporary social discourse become increasingly profound, leading us to consider the far-reaching impact of such an ambitious undertaking. Block 3: Impact and Future of Banksy. The sheer magnitude of the 2025 Lighthouse project, whether it materializes as a colossal physical structure, a groundbreaking digital platform, or a globally synchronized artistic movement, promises to send shockwaves through every corner of the art world and far beyond. This isn't merely about another set of iconic images. This is about an event that could fundamentally reshape Banksy's already unparalleled legacy, redefine the dynamics of the global art market, and significantly influence contemporary social discourse for years to come. The anticipation surrounding it is not just for an artwork, but for a cultural phenomenon, a moment when the elusive artist once again forces the world to stop, look, and profoundly reconsider its assumptions. If the Lighthouse project achieves the scale and impact rumored, it will undoubtedly solidify Banksy's place not just as a street artist, but as one of the most significant conceptual artists and cultural provocateurs of the 21st century. His anonymity, once a mere quirk, will be cemented as a powerful artistic tool, demonstrating that true influence can transcend celebrity and personality. This project could elevate his message from pointed critiques to a holistic, perhaps even prescriptive, vision for societal change. It could transform him from an observer and commentator into a potential catalyst for global action, using art as a powerful lever for real-world impact. The lighthouse might be the ultimate expression of his artistic philosophy, art not as an end in itself, but as a means to an end, a tool for enlightenment and empowerment, inspiring collective rather than individual action. The implications for the global art market are equally profound. Banksy's works already command astronomical prices, defying conventional wisdom about the value of ephemeral street art. A project of this magnitude, especially if it involves a physical installation or a collectible digital component, would inevitably drive his market value even higher, further blurring the lines between public art, fine art, and social activism. It might also ignite a fresh wave of interest in urban art, contemporary activism, and anonymous creators, potentially creating new market segments and challenging established auction houses to adapt to an evolving artistic landscape that prioritizes message over medium. The lighthouse could become the most discussed, debated, and perhaps even most valuable piece of conceptual art of its era, not just for its aesthetic or conceptual brilliance, but for its sheer audacity, its societal resonance, and its unprecedented scale. Beyond the art world, the 2025 Lighthouse holds immense potential to shape contemporary social discourse. Banksy has always been a master of tapping into the zeitgeist, reflecting and amplifying public anxieties and aspirations. His latest works, as we discussed, already show a deepening engagement with pressing global issues. The Lighthouse Project could serve as a focal point for international conversations on climate change, human rights, political corruption, or technological ethics, depending on its specific theme. By creating a universally recognizable symbol or platform, Banksy could galvanize public opinion, provoke governmental responses, and inspire grassroots movements on a scale rarely achieved by a single artist. Its message, whatever it may be, would likely be disseminated globally within hours, sparking debates in parliaments, protests in streets, and discussions in homes worldwide, demonstrating the unparalleled power of art as a communication tool. This ambitious undertaking could also dramatically evolve his artistic and activist message. While his earlier works often relied on irony and dark humor, The Lighthouse suggests a more direct, perhaps even more hopeful intervention. A lighthouse, after all, is a symbol of guidance, warning, and safety. This shift could signify Banksy moving from merely critiquing the darkness to actively trying to illuminate a path forward. It might represent a maturation of his activism, moving beyond pointing out problems to suggesting solutions, or at least fostering the collective consciousness necessary to find them. This would be a profound evolution, demonstrating a commitment to not just observe, but to actively participate in shaping a better future, a future where art serves as a guiding light. Looking forward, the 2025 Lighthouse Project holds significant implications for the future of anonymous art and its power to provoke change. In an increasingly surveilled and personalized world, Banksy's enduring anonymity is a powerful statement in itself. It allows the message to take precedence over the messenger, fostering a universal connection that transcends individual identity. If the lighthouse succeeds in its monumental aims, it will serve as a powerful testament to the enduring potency of art created without ego, art that prioritizes impact over recognition. It would inspire a new generation of anonymous artists and activists, demonstrating that the most profound statements can still be made from the shadows, wielding creativity as their most potent weapon. Banksy's place in art history is already secured, but the 2025 Lighthouse could elevate him to a mythical status, a figure whose influence transcends temporal and geographical boundaries. It is a bold, perhaps even audacious gamble, but if anyone can pull it off, it is the artist who has consistently defied expectations, challenged conventions, and proven that art can indeed change the world. The world watches, waits, and prepares for the light.